Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Adwin,
Hi.
Sanswinda,
Hello.
Quarendus,
Good evening.
Calabathian,
Hello.
and Arendus.
Hey, everybody.
Hello there. And let's head into, well, we don't have much news this week, so we'll go right into the LOTRO Beacon, issue 153, where it looks like they've got a festival. Is that an elk or is that a pseudo-elk?
What is a pseudo elk?
That's a horse with fake antlers on it.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that is the new elk. I think it is an elk.
The elk,
Okay.
because it's the nose, muzzle, snout, whatever you want to call it, isn't long enough to be a horse.
Okay.
And I will correct, last week I said it sounded like a cow. The mister thinks it sounds like a tauntaun. He's heard me playing this week.
Now we need to go to the nice snowy areas and
Confuse people.
yes.
We'll need that sound then on a winter horse then, or winter elk.
I think there is a winter elk.
I think there is.
There is a winter elk, but I don't know if it sounds like that.
It really needs to.
Makes note to check.
Then let's head into the community spotlight. Oh, no, actually. Yeah, community spotlight. First thing up is Fibro Jedi's Spring Festival Guide, which we talked about last week, which, of course, the tips, walkthroughs, and information you'll need for the Spring Festival, updated to this year's festival. And the, okay, let's see, what is this? I guess the Legiones de Luvitar have created a Remercant guide in Spanish. Click that to read it. And the recent tribute was held in-game for the band leader of the Andune Ensemble, and the organizers would like to share this video of this touching event. And you can click on the link to watch that.
Bring tissues.
Lord, yes.
And in the Kin Hall, Casual Raiders is a rank 10 active in-game raiding kinship on Brandywine that raids every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The kinship offers help and guides for new and returning players. If interested, find the World Chat and join the Discord. Every day at 2 p.m.?
Dude.
That's
Oh,
dedicated.
when you're not going to work anyway.
True.
Yes, but I didn't know if that was just during the current crisis or was that a long-term thing that they've been doing. So actually, dedicated rating sounds a little contrary to their kin name.
Well, maybe that's just that's how they raid, as opposed to, like they're hanging out in their casual LOTRO gear as opposed to their formal LOTRO gear when they're very serious about the raid itself, but when they actually arrive at the raid,
I mean,
Well, I
maybe
suppose
they're
that's
not super
possible.
serious about the raid. They just run it often.
I figure if they run it often enough, they'll succeed eventually.
Right. Have fun with
Right.
lots of failures and keep running it. I can see that.
Well, everybody will get what they need eventually.
Or just get past enough bosses to get what you need.
Sure.
Just keep raiding. Just keep raiding.
As for a weekly comment, the question is, what is your favorite event of the spring? Don't we get one of these every festival these days?
Yes.
Yes. What's your favorite event at the spring festival?
Dire beers.
Iron Dragon.
Using dragon, Sans. Using dragon.
Okay, using dragon, yes, but I can use dragon year-round. I can only buy it during the Spring Festival.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you could get it in the summer, too.
Yeah,
I
I
shouldn't
was
have
thinking
told
you
her
could
that.
get it at every festival.
I thought you could only get it at the Spring Festival. I'll have
What
to
do
be
I know?
looking
I don't use those
closer.
consumables that are forced emotes because I hate them.
At least this one doesn't force anyone to do anything. And it looks awesome.
No, you just stand there and look like a sapper has thrown something at you.
Only if you have your involuntary emotes on. But most people don't. And I don't use it on just random people. Unless they've used it on me.
I'm trying to think, do I have anything that I really like doing on the Spring Festival?
I like running the Sinister Keg thing just because right now Celevorn has for his title The Unwise, and the game, once you actually drink from the keg, says, "Are you sure that was a wise idea?" And I'm like, "It's in the title, man. It's in the title. It's on display. Come on."
Well, there is that. Let's then head
really
into
like the sorry, Pine Leaf. I really like the Sunflowers quest since they added it last year.
Oh, the Sunflower Quest. I forgot that was part of the Spring Festival. You're right.
Yeah.
That is a good.
That is fun.
You get to laugh at the elves, which is always entertaining.
Oh, yes. It's like, oh, yes, these flowers have been extinct for 500 years or something.
You need to get out
Dude,
more.
Right?
Like, you're going through the Shire, you have stopped in the Shire, and the sunflowers are literally lining every road in the Shire, and yet you haven't noticed them.
Like, open your eyes and look around or something.
Secret paths that they travel.
Right?
That's the problem.
The secret
The only
paths,
paths in the Shire with no
the
sunflowers.
secret paths, the
What's
elf
the
secret
elves
paths
take?
don't have the sunflowers on them.
Maybe it's because they're like traveling by night too. That probably makes it a little harder to see the sunflowers.
But they have elf eyes.
I was about to say.
But they're looking at Varda's stars.
Right, they're like looking at the stars, traveling their secret
Well,
paths.
that's
that
their
aren't lined with
problem. They're
sunflowers, and it's
set on leaving
nighttime.
Middle Earth. They know that the place doesn't have anything left for them, so they're watching the sky. They're not paying attention to where they're going.
So it's amazing that several of them haven't fallen to a deep, dark hole at this point and broken everything.
Ooh, that's a new Shire quest that we need.
Find trapped elves.
Get sent back to the Shire from Mordor. Yeah, this elf was supposed to go, and I'm just wondering if he ever actually made it. Could you go check on him for me?
Let's head into the fan site news. Druid's Fire is conducting a LOTRO 101 lecture series on Signum University's Twitch channel.
Yeah, she made a character today.
Ooh. I guess that is the first thing you need to learn on LOTRO is how to make
It was
character.
episode 7, I will have you know, that was finally making a character.
What'd you do for the first 6?
Talked about various game mechanics. It's actually a fairly in-depth series. I've caught it a couple of times.
I think the whole idea is the people that have been listening to Professor Corey's podcast or watched the Grifflet streams, if they ever wanted to try but had never played a video game before. She's going all the way back to the very beginning. It's really in depth. It like Terry said.
Yeah, it's extremely thorough talking about game mechanics and why this is better, is like what stats are and how do you move your character, and even before making a character, you learn like how to make a character. And then I think today she also talked to cosmetics. I don't know. I didn't catch the whole thing.
This is the LOTRO version of exploring the Lord of the Rings, I guess.
Kind of.
Well, it's for the people that are watching that.
Yeah. I meant
LOTRO
how
for
long it's going to take.
Ironically, someone's kin name that I ran across today was we read a LOTRO for Dummies book. That's the name of their kin.
Then Decademlo wants to see your house, and you could click on the link to share your screenshot with them. And last week we were seeing turtles everywhere.
Tiny ones.
Tiny turtles. And on LOTRO Stream is a great place to start finding LOTRO on Twitch this week. You check out recent shows by Big Ed Mustafa, Wayward Plane, and the Tolkien Professor. And on Twitch, Jinx Pumpkin has Misadventures, Ferdinand runs Volume 1, and Pood's Quest starts playing. And over on YouTube, Val Kills MMORPG gives impressions of the game. E. Hardy gives ambience, and Godip solos of the Great Barrow. Solos the Great Barrow. And our screenshot of the week is an item that you won't see if you're an elf.
Yeah.
Yes, Martini finds her happy place in this week's screenshot. You can watch Tim Martini stream on Mixler regularly at the link. And that is it for our beacon this week. But of course, we also have store sales. And what's on sale this week?
Let's see. Well, we have LOTRO bonus days this week, which is 10% Virtue XP and Bilbo's birthday now through April 6th. Hobnanigans will be on next week, starts March 31st and runs through April 5th. I don't even get notifications for Hobnanigans anymore because I have them filtered out. Thank you for filters, by the way. Spring Festival continues through April 13th. Double bonus points are now available. You get double bonus points in the LOTRO store in-game through April 5th. So when you buy points, you get double the bonus points, which is awesome. And 20% off riding stuff. Select war steeds, riding skills, select mounts, movement speed buffs now through April 2nd, which is, again, really awesome. And the weekly coupon gets you a free skill and Slayer deed boost with the coupon code Skill Up Slayer now through April 2nd.
Whee! Then let's head to our site news, where we have just one item this week, and that, of course, is where in Middle-earth is Emeralina, where last week they were at the waterfall in Nam Alog West North in the North Downs. And now you need to figure out where this one is. We have number 47, which looks like there is a ranger with a quest ring there.
That is indeed what it looks like.
And an invisible Emeralina. She must be on a different alt.
Except there's like more than one invisible character there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's about
There
4
must be
or
a
5.
burglar in that group with Share the Fun.
Ah.
Maybe it's all the burglars. That's a fun skill, though, because you can make your friends invisible.
Oh, that is cool.
I
That
tell
can be
you
useful.
that she is on Emeralina, the regular Emeralina, though. If that
Okay,
helps.
so yeah, it's a burglar with Share the Fun.
Yeah. Well, actually,
No, hobbits
even
have
if
that
it were
stealth
regular, yeah,
skill.
Hobbit do have a stealth.
There's a wooden door off to the
Burglar with
left.
Share the Fun, though, is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
So it's appropriately named, is what you're saying.
Precisely.
Of course. Then
Rangers. Random ranger number, I don't know. Which ranger is this?
Well, we don't want to say
I
that
know
because
where
that might
this
give too
is.
much of a clue. Yes.
I know where this random ranger is, but this is a random ranger. He probably actually has a name.
Yeah, most likely.
It's definitely one of those rangers that I call random ranger number, whichever number I happen to think of off the top of my head.
287 works.
Yes. Then let's head into our new player question of the week. And what's the question this week?
This week it's less of a specific question, just more of a general information request, I guess, which I guess is a question. I don't know. Anyway, can we please discuss a little bit more about what all the Journeyman writing skill entails? What all you get if you purchase it, how it works, all that sort of stuff.
But the Journeyman writing skill and a little bit more. Yeah, Journeyman writing skill. That is a great little item. And probably the best thing to say is that it allows you to go faster.
Go fast.
Yeah, that's essentially what it does. It allows you, I think, was it 78%?
It increases your mount speed to 78%.
Yeah,
and
plus
if you buy the
yeah.
account-wide version, it makes all of your horses forever on every character you ever make ever 78% speed.
Yes, and when you say it makes your horses go 78% plus at that extra speed in there, that is regardless of what the base speed of that mount is. So you have this really slow mount that you have, no problems whatsoever. It is now
not slow anymore.
It's not slow anymore. Like that slow goat that you get in Moria.
So, do we need to buy a Journeyman writing skill for Sarah Oakard?
I don't
she's always walking.
Rules that will help Sarah Oakard. Yeah, it only applies if you're riding a horse, and she's only ever on foot. So it wouldn't actually help her.
Dang, I tried.
Can we give her combat run speed boosts that I never want from the Hobbit present?
Set up like an automatic forward on Hobbit presents. Just forward that thing straight to Sarah.
She'd be like the rest of us. She'd forget that she even has the thing, and then by the time she remembered it, it'd be too late and be useless because she'd be out of combat anyway because you've killed everything.
Well, actually, I think she needs more is one that is an out of combat speed one. So if you just send her a bunch of coffee.
The chat got the chat said put a saddle on her and give her a goat since she's an old goat.
Ouch. Oh, poor Sarah.
And here I thought we were being mean.
Anyone else have anything to add? Then let's head into our...
Oh, wait, I did have one more. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Journeyman writing skill, when do you usually get that if you don't buy it, like, when they have, 20% off sales? You do get it in-game, right?
No, you don't. You don't get Journeyman writing. You get writing as a skill. Mm-hmm. If you're VIP, you can just get the writing skill at level 20 by doing the quest at Hang Station, but you don't get Journeyman writing.
Okay.
Because Journeyman writing specifically, it also gives you the base writing skill, and then it also gives you, because it's a tiered skill, there's also apprentice writing, which I think is 68%. So you have to use both of those before you can use the 78% one. But yeah, you don't actually get Journeyman writing in game as a thing. You have to purchase it from the store.
Yeah, because I'd noticed on a couple of mine at some point, I do remember this, that I had writing skill, but yeah, it actually was in my inventory. But trying to use it, it said, "Oh, you can't do that. You lack this, that, or the other." And either I hadn't, met the level requirement yet, or because I was VIP, I already had the Journeyman, and when I actually apparently got the lesser one, it's like it was kicking back saying, you don't actually need this.
What level were you at the time?
Oh, it's been a while, so I know it had to be right around level 20, right around when you actually get the regular one. But I had already gotten the Journeyman for like a higher level alt on that same account,
Right.
and so it went across the whole account, and I think that might have been it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had an outdated, you get the riding skill. Because I have I had gotten a bundle at one point that was the base seed plus the riding skill, and then I got Journeyman riding. So now I actually get 2 items that will grant me the riding skill, but you can only ever use one of them, so the other one has to be trashed.
Yeah, because you can't sell it.
Right. You have to just destroy it, so it stops taking up room in your inventory.
I mean, or you can carry it around for the rest of your life in LOTRO, but it's going to take up an inventory slot, and it's totally
again takes up space in inventory, and we all know how bad my inventory management skills are. Although better than Sans.
Fair.
Then let's head into our week in LOTRO. And Arendis, what were you up to?
Oh goodness, this week was quite a bit more than usual, which was awesome. I went and did some stuff on the Spring Festival for, I believe, either the first or second time, which was fun. I was on my Bjorning and had a lot of fun going through the maze as a bear because you get that extra little speed boost, and scaring little hobbits and things along the way. Just round the corner and there's a giant bear in your face. Just it works. It was pretty fun. And then I got through the Volume 2, Book 9, Chapter 8 instance and got some pretty great screenshots. I can see why Sanswindo would hate this instance. Lots and lots of giant spiders. But we got through it. It was okay. And then got into some just general shenanigans with crows and orcs in Mirkwood, including a crow that lodged itself in a tree in the middle of combat and couldn't get out. So it just clipped right into the tree and just sat there, and I believe it just completely glitched out because if I tried to use any kind of ranged attack on it, everything would automatically miss. So it was still targetable and I was still in combat, but it was just very bizarre. I've never seen that happen. Unless they're making a new, enemy type. It's a crow tree mix, I don't know. Doing some beta testing in Mirkwood. So, Calabathian, how was your week?
Most of it has been kind of around the festival. First thing, my Calabathian alt on Laurelin now has both the ram and the elk from the Spring Festival because she collects that's her thing is, I collect the mounts for her. And there are several that I would like to get for her that are going to require group efforts because they're, you have to do challenges and raids, but that's for a later date.
Ram elk? I mean, a ram mount?
Yeah, they have an elk, but they also have the goat.
Oh, that's what you meant by a goat. By a ram. Okay.
Yeah, Ba Ram U. I mean, it's goat. Okay, let me fix that. Okay. Look, it's got horns and it's got 4 legs. Okay.
I'm thinking this is. I mean, the only game where I knew that they had ram mounts were dwarves and WoW. So I was wondering where were we?
Goats. Okay, goats.
Next time, Calabathian, make sure you use the Latin name in order for us to know what you're talking about.
Hang on. I just hit my volume button, and that was.
Did you not hit the mute button?
I think we lost.
Now we cannot hear you. Cricket.
Uh-oh.
Well, then, while we wait for Calabathian to get back, I guess we need to head to Guarendis.
So this week, Gwendis, my main, has done deliveries for crystals and dailies in Minas Tirith to keep leveling up my hand weapon because my bow's maxed out, and drinking in the maze just for fun, just to kind of decompress. She needs to go to Barad-dûr, and she really doesn't want to. So she's going to keep fooling about.
Who wants to go to Barad-dûr?
I can tell. Really. I've got a ton of quests. It's going to be a dungeon crawl. I'm just no, not right now. Zot, my rune keeper, has become a very well-rounded character. Now has done both initiations for the In League and the Ale Association. Has all the dances that can be got at this festival, and has a very important emote, the most important of all, the fish slap. And last night on the Academy field trip, my Hobbit Hunter now has her first LI thanks to the field trip. This is only my second character to ever get an LI. And considering all the grind I'm going through with Gwere and Minas Tirith, I'm kind of like, what am I thinking?
Oh, there's no grind for like 50 more levels, though. You're good.
Yeah, well I mean, the whole thing is, she's my yeoman. She wants all those recipes for farming and for cooking. So away she goes into the big wide. So Sanswinda, what did you get up to this week?
Well, this week I started the Stout Axe intro with Maven. She had never done it before, so that was fun.
What?
Yeah, she had never done it before, so we started it on girls. But then we ran out of time because she didn't get through the door fast enough. So, yeah, we need to finish that up at some point. And I ran lots of festival quests and got all the dances for my Stout Axe Guardian Falafel. He can really dance now. And helped a baby warg get some speed and a good grams map, which was a lot of fun.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
I should have put that in my notes. I forgot.
That's okay. How was your week, Terry?
Well, first, did we want to see if Calabathian is back?
Oh, that's a good.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Okay, yes, I had hit a button.
I'm now. Week now.
Yes, I'm clutching this button so I don't hit it accidentally again. So it's on my headphones. No, you will not. So yes, Glompla collected hats and the Lonely Mountain Fiddle because she's a mini, so she needed the fiddle. But she also likes hats because she's a hobbit. She also got plastered and passed out in the Bird and Baby cellar with the rest of the group, and there were screenshots. And I kind of this week decided that her surname is going to be Not Wise Took, and that at some point she's going to have an older sister named Clotis Winthy Not Wise Took, who is going to be a future warden or champ, obviously, with a name like that. And of course,
hobbits can't be champions, sadly.
Okay, then she'll have to be a warden.
Alas,
yes. Which is really just that I don't know what you can't use. A hobbit can't be a champion? Are you just being discriminatory?
Right?
Is it just because they're not tall enough? What's going on?
So sad.
Apparently,
and then, of course, the last thing, Celevorn continued drinking and festivaling and discovered that the local wildlife are alcoholics or zombies because they were all gathered around on the outer edges of the maze. So, like, I came around the corner, and there was just a line of them all the way down, and I'm like, that's weird. So I got a screen cap, and I'm like, whatever. And then I come around the corner to go to the front, and there's another line of them at the front, and I'm like, right, this is not October. Why are you freaking me out?
So they like dire beer.
Yes, they're all alcoholics or zombies. We're coming to get you, Barbara. And then, of course, I did I listened to Wild Stories about Bilbo with him when we were doing the Bilbo, his birthday, Baggins' birthday. Yes?
I'm still trying to figure out how Clotis Winde is the name of a warden.
Why is Glompla the name of a minstrel?
I don't know that either.
Obviously, their parents had a problem. This is why I kind of wanted the guy in the Green Dragon, Barmy, not Root, to be like her dad, because any guy with the name of Barmy, crazy Barmy, is probably going to name his kid something weird. Alas. So Terry, how about you?
Okay, so Prancerella did some Spring Festival questing and joined the Inn League, which ended in the being passed out on the floor of the Burden Baby, which the whole group was, and we took screenshots, and yeah, that's on Twitter. That's a fun way to spend a Saturday night. And then I took a lower level Hunter alt through the Ale Association quests. Not only did she do the round of quest dailies, but she also did the round of delivery quests, so that she could get the title No Gooder, because that's totally a title that you should give to any of your characters, because it's awesome. And then Kenrit, the lore master, did Bilbo's birthday and reached level 40, so now he can use a sword, and he has this little flashbulb pet, which I named Say Cheese, because it's a light bulb and it flashes periodically as it does the little healing thing. So Say Cheese! So everybody in his wake should be smiling. But yeah, I remembered again why I love the Bilbo's birthday quest, and I want to say thank you so much to the devs at Standing Stone for finally, I mean, they did this last year, and we thanked them last year, but we're thanking them again for finally making it so that all of the storytellers are actually up all of the time now, so you don't have to try and catch them and potentially miss out on all of the great tales. Because they're really, really fantastic. My favorite one is still the one where he gets a fake beard. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, shame on you. Go do Bilbo's birthday right now, because it's awesome. You only need to be level 20 to do it, because you can get to Rivendell by talking to Gandalf in the Prancing Pony. He will send you to Rivendell free of charge. Getting him back might take a death port, but level 20. Just make sure you cancel the quest and don't actually talk to Elrond, because then you can use Gandalf again after you've gone back to the Shire and collected all of the stories and need to go back and talk to Bilbo. So, yeah, you can do that quest at level 20, and it's amazing and hilarious. And it's interesting because one of the storyteller quest givers references a story about Bilbo leading packs of spiders, and I seem to vaguely recall that there was a story about him leading packs of spiders, except there's not one anymore. So I don't know if they changed it to something else or if my memory is faulty, which is entirely possible. But I would love to see more storytellers next year where Bilbo and one where Bilbo is leading a pack of spiders. So if there's any possible way to just add that to the list and kind of sneak that in there, that would be great. Reasons for people who have done the quest to go back and do some more stuff with it. That was my week.
Spiders might not be the most attractive reason to go back and listen to another
I was wondering if Sans is going to say something about the spiders.
Pineleaf, how about you?
All right. I'll begin with my honor warden, who was once again allowed into Harwick, so that has been lifted. And I continue on my questing there. And as I was doing this, I learned what happens if you don't do the merchant quest before you finish up on Notice, because I was curious as to what happens to that quest if you don't take it before going in there, and it looks like the quest just disappears.
Which quest is that?
What? Well, there's this quest with the merchants where you're supposed to sneak into town and talk to the various merchants.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but once your notice is lifted, then they no longer have. Then I guess they no longer see a need to go in there and listen to their support for you, since now you finally have Harwick's favor, or Harding's favor, I guess. So yes, that quest did get canceled as a result of that. I guess if I had the quest and I finished it, I guess it might have said quest failed or something like that, I guess, if I had the quest but didn't finish it out. And in addition to this, I then helped Bingo gain a horse, or I should say a pony. And once that was done, I then went and finished up my questing inside of the Walled. So I'm pretty much finished up with the Walled, and that means I'll be heading into Norcroft soon. Then my burglar was listening to a foretelling from a soothsayer. And then on Friday Night Fight, we ran first the Harrowing of Morgul, and this was with a Warden, a Guardian, and a Hunter, so we ran that at level 130. And that actually went fairly well. Then we ran Deep Barrow, and I figured, I'm sure Deep Barrow is tougher than the Harrowing. So we ran Deep Barrow at level 125. And we still wiped twice.
Ouch.
Yeah. Therefore, Harrowing at 130 is easier than Deep Barrow at 125. At least if you don't have a real healer with you. So if you ever do Deep Barrow, make sure you bring a healer. And actually, I'm not too sure how much that will help either, because one of the big things in the Harrowing are these places where they throw these power leeches onto you. And when you get a power leech, usually I'm out of power before I notice I've got the power leech on me. Because power leeching is just, I'm sorry, power draining diseases are too overpowered at the higher levels. Looks like I think what they're doing is I think they're scaling the energy drainers with the damage drainers.
Maybe I could see the power drainers like being viable if lore masters were like a foolproof way to make sure you all had full power still. But you can't even like be like, oh, and just bring a lore master, because that got nerfed too. So I don't know.
Yeah, right now but even a lore master should not be necessary for a 3-player instance.
True.
And in fact, this is also universal. Even the landscape mobs can drain your power pretty quickly, because
it doesn't take long at all.
It doesn't take long at all, and it's at a ridiculous level right now. It just drains you way, way, way too fast. Because right now, you go into Minas Morgul and your batteries run out faster than on a cold winter.
I'm from Texas. What's that?
You might not know about it, but you don't want it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm sure that anyone who's from Minnesota will know that much better than I do. We currently have 13 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. And if you wish to support us without joining Patreon, then you could send it to Draculetta at drac@lotroplayers.com. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@lotroplayers.com, and you can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, Lotro Players at Lotro Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Sandwinda at Sandwinda, Terry Edwin at Terry Edwin, Guarendis at Nidashell, and Calabathian at Calabathian. The Players Alliance has 2 shows. On Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. And that's it for tonight, then. This is Pilot Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.